Oh, wow. Well, what do you say to that?
That was well prepared by the CTs, having so many players stacked up on this bomb site. I think A is also easier to retake on, well, not actually, it depends.
I'd say B's easier to retake.
I mean, generally speaking, of course, but in pistol terms, if you don't have any equipment, I think A,
it's very hard to get onto the site.
It depends on how long they have to get themselves into afterplan position, so it depends on way too many things to really consistently predict something like that, but that was ridiculously well prepared by Team Heaven.
Well, that's also almost the exact round we saw come out from Team Secret when they had their pistol on train before, and it was on the CT side we saw Nikki get 3 headshots when running down the ramp. So it is sort of the same style. They were expecting that ramp push to come in. The main aim there is, of course, to get the bomb down. It is a hard site to hold on to, but they didn't even manage that. They didn't even get close. And here we see Nastia, a combination with Jinjin and Hellrose, just cleaning up these frags. Nice work from her. I have to say, in terms of their team play on this map, we actually saw some really nice stuff coming out from Team Heaven. Like, I didn't feel like Nastia was the sore thumb or anything like that, like just sticking out over to the side. We saw some really nice play around her when they last played this map. Of course, I would say it wasn't too much different on Secret, though, on train.
Yeah.
Well, that was the Zaz show.
Maybe they simply had more time to prepare with her. That's probably the case. Or maybe they have used her as a mixer, you know, for PCWs and stuff like that, for pracs. That is most often the case because, you know, if you're a team that's not full-time, you still have to get practice on. So you'd rather play with four people plus 1 instead of not playing at all. So Team Secret back on the B-bomb side, trying to plant the bomb over there. We've got Kelly waiting. And she's got the UMP supported by Shifty from C-Connector. There goes the first one. A good hold. Oh, nice shot there. Nikki goes down though to the falling damage. Shifty with a headshot onto Vega. 2v3 thanks to another kill by Giuliano. And the round is heavily contested. They're already pretty expensive for the CTs, and it's not even done yet. Giuliano's still working for it, but she goes down to Jinjin. So the 3-2-0 in favor of Team Heaven. Now, the first rifle round, Team Secret is going to try something. The question is what they want to try right now. They know Jinjin might be able to pick up an orb already. So maybe B is going to be the spot of choice.
Yeah, and we already have a 6 and 5 grand still on Nastia and Shifty, so not too bad in the monetary department. But the other thing we have to mention is the fact that in terms of the T side, they didn't actually invest in the previous 2 rounds to actually get this buy together. However, Hellrose, nice work from her. Start off the round, it's going to get a triple spray, and that is lovely stuff from her. Nopka will trade one back along with Vilga, but it's going to be her left alone, the stand-in. In a 1 versus 3, the Molotov is perfectly placed to force her to move, and actually not going to be able to get the bomb either, so not a good position from her, of course. They do have a low player, but it's not going to matter because Shifty's going to hit the headshot, and, well, there you go. Hellrose didn't go aggressive, but she did get a triple kill.
And there needs to be some smoke in that position. You can't leave that line of sight open if you want to go for a full A rush. You got to get a little deeper until you've actually have a line of sight, or until the CTs have a line of sight on you. It's okay if she sprays through and happens to pick up 3 headshots by accident, but if she's got line of sight and hoses you down like that, you don't even trade her. That's troublesome for Team Secret, and that has to be fixed for the next few rounds because it's not going to be any different.
Yeah, and here we go. It's just going to be back to pistols again. A nice run of rounds already for Team Heaven. They're going to be building up their economy. The aggression from Kelly could make a big difference in this round as she is going to be able to get in behind as well. Zaz has a little bit of armor and they are going to go pushing, but here goes Kelly quickly, aggressively going to find a frag. Vilga will get one. The bomb, is it going to be denied? Yes, it is. And that leaves 1 player, and that is Vilga, to try and do at least some damage to this CT economy.
Yeah, quite important to deny the bomb plan to the terrorists over there. More importantly, the CTs should try and stay alive. Shifty especially now on 12 HP, so she's not supposed to go for any repeats, which could let Vilga slip through the CT's fingers. But the bomb is conveniently dropped at the site, so she can't get away. She needs to go there. There is no other way for her, and as she tries to make the move, Jinjin is able to take it down. And I mean, Jinjin has consistently performed on cash. She got a lot of opening frags on the T side, which opened up middle, for example, or at least she was holding that angle and denied the CTs to take control back. And she's finding a good way in the match as well, picking up 6 kills in 5 rounds.
Yeah, and only 1 death as well, the other additional factor there. But, well, if you have 1 up, we're going to come back with 2. That's the style of play coming out from Secret. We mentioned before, this isn't a particularly conventional strategy, as it does pretty much limit your maneuverability, and in terms of being retaken, it's quite difficult. But there goes Giuliano. She's going to find that first frag. Hellrose will pick up the AWP, as it is a valuable weapon. Again, this is another play that Nasty's done twice now. Throws down a smoke, waits on the edge, finds a kill, fades away. However, again, we see another AWP pick coming in, this time on the side of Vilga. And this double AWP, although it is a pick style, it seems to be paying off for them so far. Got to be careful here, pushing up onto the train. Not sure how that wasn't a kill, and it came very close. Another frag will come in, and there goes Kelly with the perfect timing. However, Giuliano will trade 1 back. A little bit of overkill onto Nastia, but it's a 2v2. Shifty not going to find the frag. And Giuliano, it looks like she's trying to drag her team through this round with 3 kills already.
Yeah, but they have to go back for the bomb, and that allows Kelly to rotate in. Nopka is holding on to the... No, that's Giuliano holding on to the bomb side, and Nopka is going for the bomb, picking that up and carrying it back to the side. But Kelly turns it into a 1v1. She caught a bullet to the head, though. 11 HP remained for her. She's got quite some equipment to work with. But Nopka definitely in a better position. She knows where her opponent is, and there she tracks her down. Good job by the terrorists. That's really important to get on the board, even though it took them quite some time. They definitely need that round to build some momentum, even if they might lose the next one or maybe even 2 in a row, but they are already there, you know?
Yeah, at least they're on the board. Of course, as you said, their money not in a great scenario, so there is the chance of the reset here. The other thing with that is Giuliano, the aggression from her really did almost cost the round. Of course, she did make some big plays, hit the dink as well, but the other thing was you actually saw Kelly try and bait out with the Molotov, throwing it in, but no reaction from Nopka. She just keeps going in the way she was planning to go and finds the frag. Of course, here comes the buy. Jinjin this time. Giuliano's not going to be as lucky. She will be taken down early on. And now we see the aggression from Hellrose and Co. It's going to be a team effort here, and they actually find a second initial frag into the round, and this could be a crushing blow.
What just happened?
I think the power just turned off.
Yeah.
Even the screens died. I think we just had a slight power outage, so hopefully we will be getting back shortly.
I've never seen that menu in Russian. The last hope for Team Heaven.
Yeah, they have managed to whittle away at some of the more deadlier players. Of course, on the CT side, they've lost some pistols. They have lost a couple of rifles as well, though. So here goes the bomb plant. It's going to be over towards that A site. They are going to see the rotation coming in. They are together. The player up in Heaven could be absolutely vital. That could be a real problem, actually, if they're unable to sort of pull this one back out of the bag. But here we go. 7-2, the bomb down, ticking away. And can the remaining 2 players try and retake this one?
And the Terrorists have almost the best possible after plan positions. They don't have to show themselves. They can go for the peak on the bomb on every single player. So Giuliano doesn't even need her teammates. She's shutting them down on her own. 3 rounds on the board for Team Secret. The CTs have to save, but they only have to save once, and it will be back on weapons. Oh, okay. I forgot. It's Team Heaven. They fall up.
Yeah, this is the sort of Team Heaven forced by,
Maybe
which
it's
is
a curse by.
yeah, it is one of those ones where it's sort of like, in terms of being a caster, this is one of the most painful things to witness, because there's 2 things that happen. One, you should expect them to lose, but they can win the round, which is bad enough because likelihood is you won't predict them to do that. And the other is that they'll end up losing themselves the game just by doing this sort of mentality. But nice shot to start off the round by Kelly. Is going to try and retrieve that AK, but there are a couple of players covering, but she will manage to grab it. Going to switch over, sort of mid-shot, and she's not going to find anything. Zaz will close it down, and actually there's Nopka to find another in the meantime.
Yeah, it started off quite okay for the CTs, but then it all went down the drain. Vilga with 1 more onto Nastia. Yeah, I mean, they had $2,000, right? I just want to make sure that I am not completely failing on my math. The 3-round loser bonus would have been 2,400.
Yeah, it would have been
2,400 plus 2,000. It's 4,400 you can buy.
Yeah, that is the sort of weird mentality they have. Nice position from Shifty, is given away. She's unable to quite hit the shots, and Vilga is just going to sit here holding the ankle, but why not? Just give her a little dink.
Yeah, wake her up.
Yeah, hit her in the head. Jinjin, nice flashbang to actually get herself into Pop Dog. However, she will be taken out, and this leaves just Shifty. Finding 1, does have a kit as well, but there's so much to do here. 3 players left. Going to be tapping away, but Nikki will finish off this round. And, well, a nice spread of frags, actually, now. Giuliano, the only one not to find one in that. But the other thing is, at this point of the game, Team Secret, they're not going to be worried at all. It's 7-4, 4 rounds already on that T side. They're going to be feeling pretty confident.
Yeah.
Their CT side was very convincing when we saw them before. Obviously, it started to come back a little bit when they were against iSports, but not anything that they were particularly worried about. I think they won 12 rounds. Was it 12 on their CT side? So, yeah, they're not going to be worried at all as of yet. Of course, this is a different lineup altogether, a different team they're playing against. But the likelihood is they're going to get to 5. And then we're looking at a factor where they could actually get close to winning the half. And then Heaven really have sort of made some mistakes.
Yeah, that is... I'm still trying to wrap my head around that buy round because they delayed their buy. Maybe they want to get an orb on, you know, on their own terms, and they really desperately want it. They maybe also want to have some more grenades to work with. I kind of understand that as well. So they're taking it slower. Maybe they're also so confident in their own T side that they think, okay, Team Secret is going to get 5. That's okay for us. We make it 10-5 and we're going to switch over. And yeah, Team Secret is definitely getting themselves to a very good point in this matchup. Not taking their time, not running in the stack. And even that stack, it shouldn't do too much to the terrorists here.
Yeah, they're using their nades well to push out and clear certain positions that they don't particularly want to check. Of course, they are going to spot one of the last players over towards the site, just hiding in the middle. And we will see Kelly, the last player left alive, has had a pretty good first half so far with a 4K in the midst of the rest of her 13 kills. But unfortunately, I don't think she's going to be getting too much more. As the bomb is down, there's 5 players left alive, and they don't really have a reason to go aggressive.
Yeah, if they would, that would be a little, well, just for the manicure of the round, so to speak. So it looks even more convincing, and that's what they achieve as well. 7-5. Now the terrorists are back. The CTs are back on the buy, and they will get the orb for Shifty. That's going to be dropped. Yeah, I was questioning that. Even though I don't want to take anything away from Shifty, but
you have a primary orb for a reason.
Yeah, indeed, that's what I meant as well.
Yeah. So I don't know why. It would come to a real detriment. Like we saw it with Candy, like where she wasn't playing well enough, so they sort of went, okay, well, you don't play up anymore. And you kind of think, that alone, in my opinion, unless you do have AWPers that consistently switch around, like sort of godsend, it's almost saying to that player, you're not performing, so we will take this gun. And I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. I do understand the idea that forcing the issue can be much worse, especially when you have a player hitting their shots. They can pick up an AWP and make a difference. But we are going to see Vilga. As said, this AWP can go around. She's going to be picking it up this time, not Giuliano. And finds the first frag of the round, which is an important one as well, because now we are getting back to that equal scoreline on the T side of the map. Spray through from Nastia, not going to do too much as she takes a lot of damage herself. Now we're back into that 5 versus 4.
She just turned around to look into the flash. Luckily, the terrorist didn't know that, otherwise she would have been blind for quite some time here. Team Secret going for the A fake on the way to the B bomb site. It should be possible for the CTs to tell that. At least Cali is already making some moves, and now the smokes have been tossed at A and nothing is happening. Should be a tell, but maybe it's a double fake. Team Secret don't commit yet. 30 seconds on the clock. They really have to hurry up sometime soon. If they lose the first few frags now, oh, Vilga missing that shot. Kelly stays around. That's ballsy by her, but then finally she goes down and tries to lay that push a little more. 15 seconds. The bomb will be planted by the terrorists. A 4v5 retake. Team Heaven shouldn't actually go for that anymore.
Yeah, it is one of those sites that we talk about being very retakeable. The only problem is Kelly went down just as they were about to begin their push, and unfortunately that does mean that they have to actually retreat here, and this is going to be a 6th round. They started off so strong. The power cut clearly threw them off, even though it didn't affect them at all, as they were, what, 7-1 up? Now we're back to 7-6, and Team Secret, from a little bit of a worrying stance, are now in a position of power.
Yeah, that's also what I love so much about CSGO. The game is never over. It sounds so stupid, but you can win any game. It doesn't matter. And I've been a huge advocate of never losing hope when I was playing myself. It didn't matter the scoreline, 14-0. Guys, we can win this. And even though I didn't really believe in myself, I tried to make my teammates believe in me and then believe in themselves again. And that's exactly also what Team Heaven has to do right now. They have to find something to cheer themselves on with. Otherwise, Team Secret is not only going to take this round, this half, and this map, but also the whole best of 3.
Yeah, if they lose that sort of mentality that they had in the previous game where they were coming back, making the big plays, it could all be over. But there, as we say it, Shifty finds the first frag of the round. Vilga is out. 4 players left. No AWP in play at the moment. Of course, they could go and pick that one up, but well, let's see what they actually opt to do here, because AWP still on Jinjin. We're looking to see her sort of step up a little bit. Been a bit quiet, if I'm honest, for the last few rounds, and she was really, really big the last time they played this map. Of course, she was good on the T side as well, so can't take that away. But here we go. Molotov going to be thrown out. Kelly buying time, and that's a big factor when coming in with a retake. The spray going to come through. Has to be a little bit careful. Aggression already coming to her left, and that is Zaz. And we've said that name many times in this series before. Jinjin going to be pushing. The bomb will be planted. Well, let's see what they can do on the retake here. And we haven't seen too many convincing arguments for their retake so far.
Zaz is dancing at the train. She's going to be outflanked by Hellrose. The terrorists still have that firing squad on the very back of the side next to the bomb. It's a 2v2 now, 2v1 in favor of the terrorist. Shifty still around. She's going to go down to Nikki. Team Secret win this round. It's just them taking it in their own hands. They are crushing them right now.
Yeah, and that's going to be the big one. It seems like 7 rounds already. You'd say that that's definitely enough. Of course, we have seen way worse scorelines in the past go back the other way, and obviously with a pistol win, if they can get this last round as well, then I wouldn't say that it's up against Heaven. Like, they do still have a chance. The real problem is now, though, Team Secret, they're going to get themselves rolling into that CT side, and we know how good they are. We saw how good they were previously. Obviously, there were a few players going off, and they did let the bomb go down and have to clutch it on quite a few occasions, but already they've started this round well as they find the first frag, courtesy of Zaz.
Indeed. Even though it's just the expendable Max 7, it's going to give Team Secret some more room to work with without being seen. And Kelly just bursts out. That headshot onto Zaz. Oh, and it's all of a sudden the CTs explode. Everyone is going down on the T side. Nikki is the last woman alive. Jinjin with the second, and Team Heaven keep themselves, well, 8-7 on terrain. That's not really keeping themselves in the game. It's just giving themselves some hope.
Yeah, Kelly just sliding into your DMs with that one, just like up the ladder, slides across headshot. That was almost like one of those sort of memes that you see of just like,
Yeah.
I didn't see anything coming, bang.
John Cena.
Yeah, it's just absolutely insane. I don't know how that worked, and it looked, well, just completely retarded from our angle, but either way, 8-7, it's still not something to get too hyped about. It was a nice round. We're going to be looking at that pistol. And of course, they're not out of it yet. Anything that we can see on one side, of course, we can see it on the other side. But they will have to, of course, shut down Zaz over towards B. If Giuliano is picking up that AWP again, she'll be a big play. And Nikki as well was very, very good the first time they played this map.
Yeah, without the pistol, I don't think it's, well, even if they have everyone stepping up on Team Heaven, I don't think it's going to work out, because Team Secret is just, overall, they have a good amount of depth in their lineup. So even if Zaz, Giuliano, the two big stars will fall off, they still have those three other players that are not necessarily any weaker. They just have different moments, different jobs as well, and you got to take that in consideration as well. Not everyone can shoot goals. Somebody has to defend as well. Now Zaz with a headshot onto Hellrose, so the Terrorists will lose the first. Shifty will come back though. Now they have to close in the distance. The Glocks are too weak on those distances. Wilg and Nikki don't allow that to happen.
Look where the bomb is. The bomb is not in a nice position. They'll have to go get that, and they just don't even stand a chance. They almost set up for that bomb plant to be there. Like, the plan is a plan that's actually used quite often. You get the bomb down, you have two players pushing in behind from connector, so that you have that flank ready and waiting. The problem was, they didn't get the bomb down, so the two flankers were just met by two players who were just going, well, we kind of know you're doing this now, so we're just going to stand here and wait. The bomb, it didn't even get close, and unfortunately, that means the pistol has now gone to Team Secret, and they can get themselves rolling. They have done this before with MP9s, and it has failed before as well, because, well, I'm going to be honest, a Vilga with a long-range MP9, not really the best weapon in the world.
Yeah, definitely. And if you only have a FAMAS to back all that up, maybe I would have purchased two FAMASs and have 3 MP9s. I would have made a case for that. But they focus on the grenades, and if they use them correctly, they should be able to delay the push. But no nades used on Ivy except for that one smoke. Giuliano getting one frag only. Suddenly everything falls apart for the CTs. Zaz and Nikki, the last ones alive. Well, they have a chance here still. One from CT Spawn, one from Pop Dog.
Yeah, Giuliano has to go. Well, it's actually not Giuliano. It was, I don't know why I said that. I thought I saw a FAMAS in play. It's actually on the opposing side, but Nasty are going to be closing this one off. And I don't want to say that I saw that coming, but I definitely saw that coming. It's the exact same play they tried to make before, where they played with one FAMAS. It relied so heavily on what Giuliano had to do, and she just got rushed down. That's the problem. Even the FAMAS up close, you still favor that Tech 9. So the second they got into that angle, really they had to set up crossfires. They had to have something there, and setting up a crossfire with an MP9 is never going to be a plausible scenario. So, yeah, they went for the risky strategy, and well, unless they can win this 4 spy straight back, they have let Team Heaven back into the game.
Yeah, if you get rushed by 3 Tech 9s, if you have a FAMAS, it's not like it's a magical weapon that can take everyone down all of a sudden. It's more, you have 3 different targets, they are apart with 3 meters between them. They run in different directions, and you have to find all the heads at the same time because they're all shooting at you. How are you supposed to take them all down? It's almost impossible.
But that's why that ace in the previous train map was so impressive, because that's exactly what Zaz managed to do, like go 1, 2, just like waving around and finding the headshots.
And
so
using her own position and the smoke in her advantage. That was not possible for Giuliano, so Team Secret is looking a little less happy about that start of the second half. Now Team Heaven has taken a lot of time here, and the CTs have a good amount of information on the B-bomb side, and now it's not.
Why not?
Yeah, the 5-7, that's how important that can be as well. The CTs quickly pick up those 2 guns that were dropped, and now it says the next one in line, the 5-7 onto Nastia. She's on 1 HP left. She goes back because she knew there was no way she's coming back into the bomb site without being killed, and Callie stepping up. Now it's Shifty on her own against 3 CTs. She only has the AK, but she's got the bomb on her back. Now she's going to be flanked by Nopka. What a nice round by Team Secret.
I'm not even sure what the term better buy even means anymore, because it doesn't seem to be the case. Whoever has the pistols is the one with the better buy when it comes into these sort of aggressive rounds. We saw a great play from Notka there up close, finds 2 headshots. That is exactly where you play the 5-7. That is the perfect way to play it. And while I can't say I'm surprised, we see Team Heaven coming straight back at them again. They want to get that economy going, and both teams are trying to do that. The only problem is, rather than dropping SMGs over to their opposition, they drop 2 AKs, so that's going to be a big difference. We'll see whether or not they can make this work, but going over towards that B site, the long ranges always come into play over here. Like when they went over towards Ivy, it's a very close sort of scenario, diameter. Like you're not going to have that sort of problem, whereas here, well, you've got to get close to them very, very quickly, and well, one of the ways to do that is straight through a smoke. There goes Hellrose. That's the Hellrose we know and love. That is the other side, where she goes a little bit overzealous, and now we see Nastia taken down as well. Vilga with 2. Actually going to pick up the MP9, just because she ran out of ammo. We'll switch back and go for the reload now, but you expect the nades to actually do their job, and the retake should be coming
staying
in.
alive so long? Jinjin just stayed alive for like 15 seconds. Vilga was shooting at her. 2 nades came raining in, and it didn't even matter to her. But of course, in the end, the CTs will prevail. Triple kill by Vilga. But the bomb was planted. That's the small consolation.
Didn't even phase her. They can't see what I'm doing, so they don't know how bad that was.
And it took me like 3 seconds to realize what you did. So Tom just made the phase sign, you know.
Yeah, the phase up sign.
Phase her.
No, I didn't. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's getting late and it's getting hotter and hotter, by the way.
Yeah, this room is, whoo, whoo. That is a studio, plenty of lights, nice and warm. But here goes the aggression. Nopka going to find the first frag. Of course, this time they are up against pistols. We would have to say that it's likely that Team Secret are in the driver's seat, but that doesn't seem to mean too much with these teams in play. Obviously, the previous map was the pick of Team Secret. This map is the pick of Team Heaven. But you have to remember, with this sort of double ban for each team, it does mean that you end up on 3 maps that both teams will like. Obviously, unless you're banning out the opposition's maps and your map pool is really weak, that would be the only way. But either way, it looks like at the moment Team Heaven are going to be getting their 11th round. Of course, if they can keep this clean, like the stream, of course, then they will be able to build up their economy. Again, probably like the stream. But we are going to see that push coming in onto Ivy. Nopka, the stand-in. Currently 5-1 on the second half. And, well, Vilga just headshots with the AWP. The overkill. Complete overkill.
Yeah, but she's used to the scout, probably.
Yeah. But
sometimes that's really hard if you only play AWP and then go for a scout. So 11-9 the scoreline, and talking about the players' scorelines, Vilga on top of her squad with 18, 15 on Jinjin on the terrorist side, and Kali on 15 as well. Overall, everyone's carrying his own weight, and everyone is definitely also on the same or roughly the same level as their teammates. So both teams just not giving each other an inch. Vilga with the opening kill. Now she's stepping up a second one as well. Nikki helps her out, makes it a 2v5. Now she misses the first shot, and that's her end. Jinjin fighting back. She catches a bullet to the head. 10 HP remain. Nopka is back on the 5-7. Will shut her down. Hellrose. That was a good try on Zaz, but in the end, it's the Swedish girl prevailing 12-9.
yeah, and Jinjin, although she is having a good game, it was previously noticed that she was the main factor actually on their T side previously, where of Train anyway, where she was actually having to get like triple kills for them to win rounds. So I would say that I obviously saying she should step up when she's 16-13 is sort of like say a bit of a ridiculous sort of scoreline, but she was on like she was 30 bombing the last time they won this, and that made a big difference. Like it was a very close match. What was it, 16-12 or 16-14? Either way, it was very, very close, and now they're playing arguably better opposition, and it's not working quite as well. She's not able to do as much. Same for Zaz, of course, so far anyway. Like she's not having the best of games, but here we go. She is going to find one here, obviously trying to stop the bomb plant. Is quickly traded, and actually they've managed to get the female advantage here.
The thing with the better buy, right? Shifty is already through to the CT spawn. She's keeping them busy over there, just wasting a lot of time. 1v2 in favor of the terrorist. Nikki has to battle it out with one unarmored and one armored terrorists, one of them also has a rifle, so the task is not going to be easy. He's going to be pushed by Shifty. Great play by her. Triple kill with the P250 again. It's a pistol, upgraded pistol. No, well, Shifty had armor. She picked up the triple kill, but she didn't really lose that much HP. Maybe she would have been able to do that without armor too.
I've got nothing. I don't even know what that round was. The fact is, we're talking about, oh yeah, Zaz definitely hasn't been doing as much on that B site. She got wrecked. Like, they ran in, they took her down so fast, and then just went on a running spree and just took down everyone else with them. And that was really nice. Obviously, Nikki not able to clutch that one out. We saw her do nicely previously, but that's just like, it's like a flip of a coin with Zaz here. She hasn't had the same sort of impact. You can't expect her to, but at the same time, they need her to over towards this B side, because that is where you normally have an individual where they have to go really big. Here, she's trying to play the time, maneuver herself around to give them a good chance of the retake, but already she's being closed down, and there's Kelly again just running in, finding those frags. They've clearly realized that the aggression is the way they're going to be winning these rounds, not by sitting back passive, and they're just going to continue to push. However, Giuliano and Vilga are going to find some frags. Kelly's position isn't a bad one, and they will not expect that to come in. And another one for Kelly. She's now got a triple kill in the round, really dragging her team through this. It is going to be Giuliano to find another, which brings it back to a 2 versus 2, switching to the rifle. Molotov thrown out, but there's still the player around the ramp position. Hellrose could end this round. The fake will come in. They're going to expect her to be towards ramp. She'll peek, only find one, and now it's going to be down to Giuliano. She's going to go for the defuse. The peek has to come in, and it will be found by Shifty. A very close round, but the T's still come out on top.
Wow, man. Those B bomb site pushes by Team Heaven, they are not necessarily well planned out, but they know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
Which contradicts itself, but I think everyone knows what I mean, that they know exactly they have to keep pushing. They have to get around Saz to take her down, because, you know, you can't shoot to the side. You always can only shoot to the front. And
Why is Zaz full ball?
buying up.
Can we get a tab hit here? Is there some sort of... Did she have extra money, or was that literally just a sort of rage buy? Because that seems really weird for her to buy into this round individually. Obviously, if this was the previous matchup versus iSports, then I would be all about this sort of buy, because she was absolutely phenomenal. But the fact is, Team Heaven just seem wise to it. They seem wise to the way she plays. She's not been having the same amount of impact by any stretch. She was 30 bombing in the previous one, and, well, the push comes in. We do have Zaz holding further back, and it does seem to be working better as she's finding frags. But the problem is, with that one rifle, she's finding frags, but her teammates just aren't able to trade because they only have pistols. It's not like a 4x. There's nothing behind it. However, the M4 will go over. Not going to last very long as Jinjin finds the frag. And yeah, I understand the idea of doing damage. I want to see if she had like remainder of money or something, or if it was just sort of a silly buy that could have actually cost them maybe the game, but at least Vilga will find another one. Now they've actually made this probably worthwhile, depending on how much she can actually get in the next round.
Yeah, and if Vega gets one more kill, and eventually, well, it doesn't matter, but those 3 kills, they are already pretty good for the CTs, even though the investment, well, it kind of cancels each other out, but the terrorists have won the round, so they will get some more money than compared to the CTs, and you can see that Saz is wondering what she has to go for, and she has to go for the MP9. Actually, that's okay-ish. So she was really just equalizing the money. She was just spending it for the sake of it.
I feel like just for her position, I do kind of understand the buy. Like, I get the idea behind it. If she was going to buy this anyway, might as well try and do some damage. That rifle did actually get it down to like a much lower position where only 2 players survived and the T's are not in a whole lot of money. The only problem is it's one of those positions where, yes, an MP9, if you make it work, it can work. If we fall into a retake and she has to play long range angles, then she is stuffed. And I know we've seen a lot of pushes over towards that B site, so maybe that's where the plan comes in. But that doesn't mean that they can't switch it up, and that's exactly what they've done. They're pushing onto this site. We see already a couple of trade frags coming in. The big position from Vilga will spray away, but only going to grab one as Nastia survives on just 11 HP. And now the 3 versus 3 HP is in favor of Secret.
And Saz is coming in from behind. She picked up an AK, gets shut down by Jin. Missing that shot? Did she miss that? Nikki with a kill onto Hellrose. 1v2. The bomb dropped right at the CTs. Nobody's watching that angle. Easy kill for Jinjin. She slips through to the B bomb site. And now Juliano has to go for the 1v1 AWP duel with a planted bomb against her.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. I still don't understand why that's the most default plant, especially when you can get other angles. But, of course, she's going to have to take the jaw, and Juliano has other ideas. Doesn't even give her a chance. Just absolutely runs in, takes that kill. And I would have actually liked to see a different bomb plan. I do understand that that's the default, but it does leave you very open. You have to either fall back to one of the positions or go aggressive. And I would rather see it, say, planted on the right side. You can then run back down the trains, and you have quite a few angles onto the bomb. But as said, Captain Hindsight over here, not really going to be helping anybody now.
We know where the CT was as well.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We knew exactly where Juliano was going to be pushing from. But that does leave it back into the CT's favor just briefly. But, of course, the Ts, they're going to have money to buy back up here. So it's not going to be, it could be short-lived. That's going to be the best way of putting it. Jinjin back on the AWP. Juliano taking it back out of Voga's hand, who did have a good run. She was doing well with that AWP. It's not like it was just one of those positions where you thought, oh, yeah, no, she definitely doesn't deserve it. Peak going to come in, not actually finding the frag there. A little bit over, but I do feel like the idea there was, okay, let's not let her get away with it. And there's the Zaz we know and love. Finds a double kill. Juliano finds another one in the meantime. This is looking better now. Another peek, another no-scope. If you guys weren't here earlier, she was styling, and there's Vilka to finish things off. But that seems like a much better duo over towards that side. They expected them to fall back to that B push because it was working so effectively, and they were ready for it.
There was actually a real plan behind it. Team Heaven went for B 3 times in a row when Zaz had that big problem. Then the CTs had to go for that kind of save. They went for B again. And then they knew they have rifles and they have to react to us pushing B all the time. And then Team Secret decided to put Juliano next to Zaz on the B bombs, and they're still together over there. And that's when Team Heaven went for A. It didn't work out on the A bomb side, so they went back to B. And that's when Team Secret still has those 2 players on the B bomb side, and it happens to be a double kill for each of those. And of course, the round ends in favor of the European squad. Juliano is still on it, though.
Yeah, pistol's going to be coming in again. Juliano will find trade frags, but it is just trades. A lot of damage being done by these pistols, of course. This is a sort of last-ditch effort. Team Heaven don't want to be having to fight for overtime. They want to come back into this one now. They do have those pistols still in play, and M4 picked up from Shifty will do some more damage as Zaz is dropped once again, tapping away with the Tech 9. Juliano also on 17 HP, and the bomb will be planted, and now they have that Heaven position. This is going to become a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, Jinjin also keeping Pop Dog busy. She has to watch out, though. Somebody is still in the back lines of the CT spawn. Nikki going to work on the Hell Rolls, making it a 2v2, but there goes Shifty with that shot onto Nikki. Now, the only chance is Juliano on 17 HP with an AWP. I don't want to write her off by any means, but chances are really slim, and Shifty has an eye out on that approach. Team Heaven, did they just win another round they shouldn't have won, and did Shifty pick up a 4K?
Yeah, another big round coming out from her.
That is insane.
And you just, I know that it's harsh, but at the same time, it seems like without one of their players going almost God mode, it's just not working out, and not because looking more like the player we saw in the sort of first map of the first matchup. And it is understandable. This is a tougher opposition. This is a difficult match for them to play. The real problem that we have now, though, is the fact that the economy has been destroyed.
Yeah, so even though Team Heaven probably didn't plan it like that, it panned out pretty well for them. Now they are still on the B bomb set. The CTs go for the 3-man Ivy push. They have a lot of info. Ooh, Nikki! What a nice headshot on to Jinjin. Hellrose just barely survives the fight with Nopka. And, well, Shifty not really having that much trouble against Nikki. But 3 CTs are coming in from behind. That might be a little surprising for Team Heaven. Now they have spotted them, though. Shifty's just going to spray them down with the M4A4. Easy peasy. Zaz has picked up the M4A1. She wants to go for this one. Made it a 1v2. The Molotov is burning her off, though.
And again, another quad kill. 2 rounds in a row for Shifty, stepping up big when needed. And these are the sort of twilight rounds of this match. The difference being is if Team Secret take this one, we're going to a third. If not, they're in the final. That's how they step. You are winning sort of a couple of best of threes, and you're in the final. That is why, well, they have obviously fought through the online stage. For some reason, we cut back to the Russian casters for a little bit, and then to us. But hey-ho, why not? But here we go. Back in. We do have both teams on a bye. Giuliano back on that AWP. Utility is a little bit limited, though, and we'll see who's going to come away with this round and possibly who comes away with the map.
Yeah, this round is going to decide, not really decided for sure, but, you know, decide the team with the best chances to win this map. And, well, it's probably going to be Team Heaven, I can tell you that. The 2-0, you know?
Probably just jinxed it now, but we'll see.
They have a Galil on Hellrose and an AWP one in Jinjin and the full A execution. The CTs with quite okay positions to counter that, but they're not actually going for A.
Yeah, they're going back to the trusty old B, of course, player still in heaven that they haven't actually accounted for. Could make a huge amount of damage. The Tech-9 going to go up close, but it's Zaz switching up her position, and this is going to be a big play from her. She's going to find herself two, and Nikki finds another one. This is now back to a pretty bleak situation. Kelly, she's made big plays before, but this is going to probably have to be the biggest one. Zaz, why not pick up an AWP, finding one more frag? And, well, if the Zaz beast has awoken, maybe we will see a change in the wind of this game.
Overtime, I call it.
Just not willing to let that 2-0 go, are you?
Nah.
They're not willing to. We'll see whether or not that is the case. Of course, Team Heaven, this would be a pretty brutal way to lose the second map after not having the best CT side for sure. And coming back on the T side, well, it seems like both teams haven't had the best CT side in this map, but it is going to come down to that final point. We're going to all 30 rounds, possibly all 3 maps. And of course, well, it doesn't really matter what Team Heaven have. They're still deadly. Like, in fact, they seem to be pretty good with those Tech-9s. It's a pretty fearful thing, but a lot of the time it's one of their players who just goes mental. Like, Shifty has definitely stepped up on this T side, getting 8 kills in 2 rounds. Jinjin as well can have those moments where she just goes off. Hellrose has been pretty quiet, actually. I do feel like she has sort of quietened down a lot with her aggression, and in a way on this map, that's been a little bit disappointing, but it looks like we are just waiting a moment, possibly a tactical pause.
I think so too. At least Team Heaven was talking to each other quite actively with wrinkled foreheads as well, so they are wondering about something. The question is, what do they come up with here? They definitely know how the CTs react to the B-bomb side. Saz has been in upper quite a few times now. If Saz wasn't in upper, Giuliano was there. So maybe they could try to pull it off again on the B-bomb side. You know, that kind of, we know that you know that we always go B. So we think that you are going to counter and think that we are going for A. So we're going to stay at B. So the counter mind play, mind games coming up. On the other side,
it's like maybe you think that we think that you'll go A because you've been B, but we'll stay B because you go A. It's like, or what?
we know that you know that we know that you know.
Yeah, it gets to that point, but we are going to see those trusty Tech-9s alongside a CZ and a couple of P250s. A few nades will be in play. It's going to be that same Ivy push, and this time it's Giuliano and Vilga actually on the AWPs. So we'll see whether or not this actually pays off. Of course, they are going to try and rush her down, but this could be the perfect reaction. Of course, reading the economy well seems to be the case. And we'll see whether or not it's going to be Team Secret taking this one over the line. Here comes the push. First pick for Giuliano. They're trying to close her down. She hits a no-scope that almost gets the second player as well. But either way, Shifty now the last one and isolated. We have a couple of players pushing, but it looks like we are going to map number 3. 2 players left. Nikki is low, and Kylie and Shifty with the world on their shoulders.
How did that smoke end up over there? Doesn't matter. Shifty's going for the rotation, helping her teammate out. Kelly is still at Pop Dog, though. Just waiting down there. Do they still want to go 8? That would be a little tricky, to be honest, because Nikki would be on 15 HP, so a possible frag, especially with a P250, and it doesn't really matter the distance on that gun. If you're on 15 HP, that should take you down unless you shoot him in the fingernails. Now, Team Heaven made up their minds. They will go for B, and Saz is holding that ramp. It should be impossible for them to go down, even if they have that smoke and the flash. And Vilga holding that angle with an AWP.
Oh, actually
he's
missing.
that shot.
The only problem is now the time is ticking away. I don't really know what the plan is here. They've got to go for ramp. Molotov's going to make that impossible. And, well, very low. All the players, and this is it. That's going to be your prediction out the window, which makes me happy that we were at least wrong together. But just a map where it really could have gone either way. That has to be said. It was a 16-14. We saw rounds back and forward that were won that shouldn't have been won. Pistol rounds that were won. Obviously not a particularly convincing CT half from either team. But ultimately, we are going to map number 3. And the question is, can, of course, Team Heaven reset from that? Because I feel like sometimes the closest games you lose can be the hardest hitting. Because you now know that you have to play a third map when you could have taken it in 2.
Indeed, and especially Shifty stepping up so massively with triple and quad kills in a row. That was obviously the time when Team Heaven thought this was still possible, but in the end Team Secret came up on top of them, and you can see the disappointment in the faces of Team Heaven. And we are trying to lip sync now.
Yeah.
What do you think we should get for EAT?
For EAT as well. I like it. I like it.
It's was on purpose.
Of course, those are our Russian counterparts. We
Yeah.
look very alike, of course. So
Do we?
no,
No.
we don't. I don't think any of them have a head that's slowly turning into an egg. But either way, that was map number 2. We are going to be going to a third, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting. We are right back after a short break, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around. It's the Female Stars Championship brought to you by StarLadder. My name is Dabu, and with me is Tom. Stick around for the third map.